Ooh, that was real intimate. And
Holy moly, I'm sweating.
I alright. I'm gonna pour myself more alcohol because that seems appropriate. Easy, easy. Yeah. All right. Let me take a sip of this.
Ring ring, who could be calling me so late? Hello?
To this.
Josie, it's me, I'm fucking dead. Are you telling me you're breaking the second law of thermodynamics? Can I go back to bed now? Good day today.
Yeah. The heat of the summertime sun beats down on my sweating brow. You know what I'm saying?
That was my intermission. I know what you're saying.
Okay, cool. Dabbing with a handkerchief doesn't help too much in making me any more comfortable. Ugh. Please die. I hate you. Giving up on the idea of getting more done today, I stopped leaning against one of the overpass fences, resting my bag on the ground. The stores in the town below Yamaku are well stocked and offer enough variety for me to get by, but at least an occasional shopping trip to the city is something that can't really be avoided. I've been here a few times now. The city's layout is getting more familiar, and the nostalgia from its atmosphere is beginning to wear off. I realize that I've begun to wheeze. I sound like an old man. I sound like an old man that's overexerted himself. Tank, give me your old man voice.
What'd you say?
There it is. That's Ramsey right now. Alright. I realize that I've begun to wheeze. I sound like an old man that's overexerted himself, and having to connect that to the fact that I'm the source is a bit disturbing.
I am very disturbed.
Yeah. I put a hand on my chest and concentrate a bit to make sure I haven't gone far enough to cause any further problems.
I am devastated.
Thankfully, my heart is acting normal. There's no dull pain, and the beating is regular, albeit fast-paced. As I recover from overdosing... Oh, that's not what that says. As I recover from overdoing things in this kind of heat. I hate my body. End the episode there. I hate my body. That's it.
Yeah, come on.
Exactly. 10-minute episodes, come on.
A minute of that was me doing a thing, because you had to get a drink.
It's frustrating to be held back. Even more to be held back by fear of my life being ended when doing something as simple as walking around the city.
What a coward.
Is my phone? Oh, that's the game! This is Steam all over again. God damn it. As I pun.
Yeah, that is the Steam sound.
I was like, that sounds familiar, but it doesn't sound like my ringtone, because my ringtone is a stock iPhone ringtone. So I don't know why I thought that, but okay. Nom, 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 nom. As I ponder on my health, I feel my pocket vibrating. Oh, whoa, what's this? By the time my phone's begun to ring, my hand is already fishing for it. A glance at the screen shows a caller number I don't recognize. Strange. Shrugging, I press the button to answer the call and bring the phone to my ear. Hello, Ramsey speaking. I don't know who you are, but I will find you. I will never kill you. The sound of a couple short breaths can be heard, but no actual speech is forthcoming.
Hey man, are you there?
Hello? Ramsey? It's Hanako. Her voice is really easy to place, even if I've never heard it over a phone before. Hanako? Sorry, I wasn't expecting you to call. What's up? you're not busy, I
Give
was
him some
wondering
sex.
if you would like to meet up. Yes, I mean, she sounds really wound up about this. I can hear muffled voices in the background. And it's about time for afternoon tea, so I guess she'll be wanting to meet Shanghai or something. That sounds fine. You go to Shanghai? I mean, the city. Hanako's here? Alone? It's a surprise. It's little wonder she's like this if she's surrounded by people and entirely by herself. That works out hell. That works out hell. That works out well. I'm just wandering around there now. Where are you? Hanako managed to stammer out the street name, address, and some basic directions to where she is. Luckily, it's not too far, so I agree to see her soon before hanging up. I look up to the sky. The summer heat is beating down. This is the first time Hanako has asked for us to do something together beyond a simple board game. And the first time, at least since I've known her, that she's come to the city by herself. Maybe this means that Lily was right. I told you right, God! By the time I managed to stagger up to the cafe where Hanako is, I started to wheeze again. I'm sweating so much that I feel like a melting popsicle. I can barely hold the bag in my hand. I need to sit down, badly. Tables outside are all occupied by busily chatting couples and girls gossiping between themselves. The contrast between the different age groups and fashions of the people here and the people from the town near Yamaku is striking. I scan over the people sitting at the tables, but I can't see Hanako. She did say she was sitting outside, so I must be missing her. Not difficult, given how small she usually tries to make her presence. I look around again, more slowly this time, taking particular care to see if I can find Hanako's hat. It's pretty distinctive, and I'd be surprised if she wasn't wearing it. There she is. Sure enough, her head is kept low, and the table she's sitting at is right behind the building in an inconspicuous corner. I walk up to where she is and make sure that I have her attention before I sit, lest I give her a scare. She notices me. And gives a small wave as I arrive at her table. Are you feeling okay? I'm trying my best to laugh it off, but doing so just makes me more out of breath. I'm not very fit these days. Don't mind me. Hanako nods, but looks a bit put off. Now that I can get a good look at her face, something about her seems a bit different. I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kind of nice. What the fuck? That's so fucked up. If I'm not sure if my eyes are playing tricks on me, but she looks kind of nice, you know, compared to her usual fucking ugliness. Okay, that's good writing. Her eyes move upwards to look at me, before flicking down again. I begin to think this is going to be a rather quiet meeting, but a waitress thankfully arrives and sits down a cup of tea in front of Hanako. Hanako almost automatically turns slightly away and lowers the side of her head. It's an amazingly practiced motion, and does a good job of its intended purpose, hiding her scars from someone who's leaning in close. Her right arm is laying on the table, though, and with the scarring on the back of her hand quite visible. It catches the waitress's eyes, and I quickly distract her. Excuse me, may I place an order? The waitress nods and gives me a couple seconds to look at the menu. Could I have a mango smoothie, please? I'd better be careful if I get too drunk off this. She gives a nod, almost enthusiastically bouncing inside. Everything is so different in the city in more ways than one. Hanako looks back up towards me and adjusts her hat a little. If she noticed the waitress staring at her scars, she doesn't note it. Not coffee? I think I'd die from the seat if I had something like coffee right now. Resting my head in my hand, I look to my quiet companion. She seems taken aback, a very unexpected reaction to my lame joke. An unwelcome emotion bubbles up inside me as I realize her reason why. Unlike most in Yamaku, indeed, unlike anyone there that I'm aware of, my condition goes beyond limiting the activities I can do. Or, to be more precise, breaching those limits could have much more grave consequences. Thankfully, it's something that's rarely come up since I entered Yamaku. I thought that it was so rare that Hanako really might not think of it at all. It turns out that I was wrong. Hanako silently drinks her tea while I wait for my drink, confirming that it's the right temperature with a small sip before she begins to. Before she begins in earnest. God damn it! What's happened? What have I done? I feel guilty for being the cause of an uncomfortable silence, since in the past I've been kind of hard on Hanako for those. Eventually, the same waitress as before bounces up, handing me my drink. I gather change from my pocket and drop it into her waiting hand, and before she goes off attending to another customer. My eyes linger on her as she walks away. Do you think that... A shekel for you, my friend. Shabbat shalom, brother William. Do you think that she looks pretty? Hanako is following my gaze, her eyes taking in the waitress that served us. I can feel my blood slowly going to my cheeks as I rest my smoothie back on the table. And I can't really say that I'm really into that look. She looks a lot like an old friend I knew before my heart attack. Did you have many friends, you fucking loser? I had a few at my previous school, though I wouldn't say a lot. 4 of us just hung around together after school and stuff. Do you still talk to them? And I shake my head. No, we gradually lost contact while I was stuck in the hospital. Ah! That hurt. You're not saddened by that? Or angry? Hanako was genuinely surprised. I guess it's the right reaction. Well, life did move on for them while I was stuck in the ward. I was pretty sore about it at the time, but now it's just a bunch of nice memories. Besides, once I came to Yamaku, I found new friends as well. That's quite a whitewash of what my feelings were back then. I went through some dark times during my stay in the hospital, and I really am glad that Hanako and Lily were around to help me after I left. Hanako blushes as we both get down to enjoying our drinks. She seems to have calmed down a bit since I arrived, and I've started to feel a little better now that I've had the chance to rest a bit, so this is getting to be a nice outing already. Even if she's calmer than before, though, she's still fidgeting a bit. She runs her hand down one of her bangs as I try to think of something to say. That's right, I was going to ask. Hanako tilts her head quizzically. I didn't know you had a mobile phone. How did you get my number? Lily gave it to me. I should have guessed. You know, you could have just asked. I'd have given it to you. Want to exchange email addresses? What the fuck is this?
It's Japan. No, it's Japan. It's fine.
Oh, is
Yeah.
it? In Japan? Do they?
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That's actually pretty interesting. Hanako nods, setting down her drink to fish out her phone from her pocket as I do the same. It's surprisingly the same model as mine. Pink though. Nice phone. Aw, dude, nice phone! She looks at me with a curious expression before noticing my phone and giggling. It's one of the very few times I've seen Hanako let her guard down enough to do such a thing. I didn't pick it out myself though. Oh? It was a present from Lily. I never really needed a phone, and I couldn't afford one. She bought me one for Christmas though, saying that we could use it to keep in touch. They see each other basically every day anyway, both in and out of school. Then again, Lily does have her class representative duties and other friends that she talks with. It'd probably help for situations like this too, when she's gone away for a while. Lily's a very special person to you, isn't she? She is. I love her very much. Damn it! Friend zone!
Cucked again.
Cooked by the Scottish person! Hanako looks down and smiles as she thinks of her. Nothing of my friendships were as deep as theirs. I have to admit that I'm a little jealous of their relationship. We tell each other our email addresses and thumb them into our respective phones. And I get Hanako's number from earlier and put it in my contact list. Done. That makes 3 now. 3? Lily, Kira, Nico. Ah, Kira. She's an interesting person, isn't she?
She's dating Lily.
She's also... Yeah, incest is pretty cool. She's also really nice, though. Her suit makes her look...
I know what that is.
I'm a little surprised you know each other well, what with her job taking up so much of her time. Hanako looks down a little and takes a sip of her drink. If I wasn't looking intently at her face, I'd miss the small smile perched on it. I guess when she knows so few people, those she knows means a lot to her. How many do you have? Me? About 9 or 10. I hesitate to go into them for fear of rubbing in the fact that Hanako doesn't have parents or apparently close relatives. 2 of those are Shizune and Misha too, which is another can of worms. I imagine that Lily would have more than both of us put together, probably. Hanako gives a childish giggle and I can't help but smiling. It's a good feeling that she's gotten this comfortable around me at times like this. I feel like I'm getting close to talking to her true self. Do you mind if I ask you something that I've been wondering? Hanako shakes her head as she takes a sip of tea, finishing off. You don't seem very jealous of Lily having a lot of friends. Don't you want to make some more friends yourself, or get to know some of hers? I'm not jealous. I don't like people, so I don't mind not having many friends. That's really not the answer I was expecting. She doesn't look fearful or sad as she says this, but rather quite serious. Hanako rubs her arm awkwardly, having taken my quietness as a reason to continue. I'm not really sure what I should say, so I end up simply giving her my attention in silence. In middle school, I got bullied, no lie. I was called names, and got excluded from work groups and sports teams. There were worse things, too. And that's what made you not like other people. She shakes her head. That was elementary school. I feel bad for bringing this up now. Adults have enough problems dealing with Hanako's scarring. Children would be all the worse. I had assumed that the way she tried to make her presence not felt was just to avoid people staring at her or because she was afraid of them. Certainly not because she genuinely didn't want to interact with them in the first place as well. I noticed the condensation from my neglected smoothie forming a bit of puddle around the bottom of my cup, so I take the opportunity to finish it off. As I drink, she begins to fiddle with her phone. It looks like she's remembered the people around her again, and began to tense up. It isn't exactly a cheap phone. I had to save up for quite a while to afford one when I got mine. If Lily went to a private school, she probably wouldn't have too much trouble getting one for a present, though. Watching her fiddle with it gives me an idea. Hey Hanako, wait for me, I'll be right back. I put the now empty cup down, slip my phone into my pocket, and begin to move off, carefully stepping around the bag I'd placed behind my feet. Thankfully, sitting around while talking to Hanako has helped me feel a lot better than before. Wait, what? Where are you going? Just stay here. I'll be back in a bit. I never come back. Much as much as I'd have liked to have jogged back, I know full well that I couldn't. I ended up walking back to the cafe, a little blue blag and bland. Hanako notices me quick. God damn it! Hanako notices. God damn it! Hanako notices me quickly, looking about as confused as she did when I left. I deposited the diminutive bag in front of her and sit back down. Is this? It's for you. You can open it. But go on. She was very unsure about it, and eventually gives in. Slowly opens the bag and picks its contents out. A silver chain phone strap dangles from her fingers, ending in a delicate flower. It isn't exactly a masterwork of jewelry, but it's about as much as I could afford. Fucking poor ass. Hanako's eyes light up when she looks at it. It's the kind of reaction I was hoping for. The summer's light glints off the silver as it twists to and fro for a little. It's not too ostentatious, but it looks a little charming. I think it suits her. I think it suits her well. Hanako lowers the phone strap onto the table and looks to me once more. But it's not Christmas or my birthday. It's fine, don't worry about it. I just thought it might be nice to have something to decorate your phone with. I don't have anything to give you. I told you it's fine. Friends can give things to each other like this sometimes, right? Friends. Hanako lowers her face so much that I can't see her expression. She eventually nods before taking her phone and fiddling with the strap to attach it properly. She looks at me and smiles as she holds up her phone, now adorned with a little flower. Thank you. Shut up. Thank you, Ramsey. She just staples it to the fucking cover. Hot glues it to the camera. Her smile improves, but infectious. Out of the corner of my eye, I notice a couple getting up and leaving. That reminds me that the bus back to the town below Yamaku will be coming soon. I guess I'd better get going if I want to catch the next bus back to town. You coming as well? Yes. She hastily nods before carefully putting her phone back into her pocket and getting out of her chair. I do the same and pick up the bag I'd left beside me on the way out. We walk side by side as we make our way to the bus station, exchanging no words between us. Hanako's gaze is firmly locked ahead of her, though she looks very happy with herself. I'm not sure what I should say to her, but I'm also not sure that I need to say anything. The fact that Hanako is happy, and happy because of me, is enough to make the load on my arm feel a lot as light as a feather. Do-do-do, boo-boo-boo, boo-boo-boo, beep-beep, boop-bop-beep, boop-beep-bop. Alright, thank you all for joining, and then the next, alright, so this episode, we took off our shirt. Next episode, she's gonna take off her shirt! Ah!
And a little more.
Very cool. Finally reaching the classroom after the
Just,
walk.
oh yeah, just so you guys know, we have like a lot of stuff left.
Do we really?
Well, we don't need to stop, but there's still quite a while left to go.
Did we really?
It's
made
pretty long, yeah.
It made the final decision. Have we really? Holy shit!
Already
Yeah.
been 4 hours.
Including the lost
Wow.
time.
With I mean, all this talking I've been doing, I didn't realize.
I'm sorry if you feel bored.
No, I had my own fun to deal with. Sonic, since it's not an important moment, can you do me a favor since you're more tech savvy with keyboards? Can you find me a good quality? Can you find me a good quality mechanical keyboard for under $50, possibly? Yeah.
That's what I'll get you then.
Because I mean, I need a new one anyways. Yeah.
Oh, actually, I think I know of one.
What?
I think I know of one. Hold on.
Backlight's cool, but it's not a requirement. I mean, I know where all the keys are. Except like that backspace one. And spacebar.
Okay. Anyway. Alright.
I'm
Finally,
suing you.
Finally, reaching the classroom after the usual walk from the dormitories, I step inside. My eyes immediately turn to the third seat from the left in the back row, Hanako's seat. It's empty, and after glancing around the classroom, it looks like she isn't here yet. The two girls from the newspaper club are here in the two seats to the left of Hanako's, as are Shizune and Misha, but that's about it. We exchange morning greetings before I take my seat. I have to admit that this is a bit of a relief. This gives me a few more minutes to think. Not that I haven't been doing so previously ever since our trip to town. Hanako's been on my mind. I still don't know what to make of my relationship to Hanako. I like her. I can admit that much to myself. I want to protect and shield her from the pain she feels. I really don't think my feelings are just those of friendship anymore. But that said, I feel like I don't even know her. If I made a move on her, how would she take it? Is she in an emotional state that allows her to make a reasonable decision about a relationship? How would she cope with anything that might happen afterwards? There's also
We'll
a possibility
find
that I'm
out.
just completely misinterpreting Hanako, as someone stomps up to me and spats. Not a difficult thing to do with someone whose social skills seems to be so underdeveloped. The sounds of spats come up to the door, making me perk up. Bitch! Okay. And ends up just being Miki. She barely acknowledges my existence when I accidentally make eye contact with her. I'm about to look away, but another person comes in not too long after she takes her seat. Who is it? Who's that Pokemon? Put in the comments who the Pokemon is, and you'll get $5. I feel myself freeze as I see Hanako enter. This is an irrational reaction, but I have no idea about how I should act or what I should say to her. For a moment, our eyes meet, and then she leaves. That's it. And then, just as quickly, she looks away and moves to her seat without saying a single word. Dick, 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 dick. As is now usual for the period following classes, my face is buried deep in a book that I find thoroughly uninteresting. Studying is not something that comes naturally to me. I didn't study a lot before coming to Yamaku, and until now I've largely managed to coast through on talent alone. It's frustrating, and I can't do that anymore. Judging by the faces of the other students in the library, I don't think I'm alone in my distaste for this. Misery loves company, I suppose. Sonic, play Misery Loves My Company by 3 Days Grace right now. No, in the video. You don't have to do it right now.
No, right now. And then put what you want to do, because we're gonna forget. I already forgot. Swordfish style?
Alright. I decided to
Super
spend
hacker?
yeah, I decided to spend lunchtime with Hanako since we haven't had lunch together for a while now. I may as well have spent the time studying, though, aside from pathetically small snippets of small talk, there's barely a word said between us. Why does she keep doing this to me? I just want to protect her, to be there for her, but every time I feel like we're coming closer, we end up further away. Draws katana. Who wants to hurt her? Are you busy? Are you busy? Hanako! What? My head whips around in surprise, causing her to retreat in fright. She runs out of the room, and that's the end of Hagaru Shoto.
Yeah. Shouldn't have listened to Lily.
Goddamn, Lily, you led me the wrong way. Ah, holy shit. That was bad timing. If I hadn't been thinking about her at that very moment, I probably wouldn't have nearly been so startled. Sorry, you just startled me. I find myself staring at her longer than I should, so I go back to the text lying on the table in front of me. I feel more like I'm just staring at the words rather than actually reading. I got the feeling Hanako could notice this as well, so I sigh and close the book. What's up? I was just wondering what you were reading. She looks a little downcast after my reaction to seeing her. Giving up on the process of getting any more work done, I get up and return the book to its place on a nearby shelf. Just an English textbook. Has it helped? It helped me realize that I don't like English, yeah. Hey, a funny joke. Hanako gives a small giggle. I may muse on the strange state of our friendship, but I do know that such little gestures are things that I wouldn't see were I not at least some distance closer to her than when we first met. I look at her for a moment, thinking about what I do and don't know about her. It's a slightly depressing topic. Is something wrong? If I want to know more about her, maybe I should stop being so evasive about it. Talking with Lily as an equal rather than being constantly in fear of causing her to become upset worked fine. Or I should just try, or should I should just try a straightforward approach with Hanako as well. Hey Hanako, do you mind if I ask a question? I don't mind. I want to know what your life was like. Your life before coming to Yamaku. She hesitates. I briefly consider backing off, but she seems to be taking the question quite seriously. I sit and watch her, silently letting her take fuck! Silently let her take her time. She's not making eye contact with me, and looks almost as if she's arguing with herself into letting herself open up to me more. Her answer finally comes in a stiff, almost reluctant nod. She looks far more tense than she did before I asked. Okay, but okay, but in return, you have to tell me about your life as well. I nod and follow her as she begins to walk to the library so we can talk. By now, most of the students have already left the main building, so apart from a few people hovering around club rooms, the hallways are largely empty. I guess we'll start with coming to Yamaku. Let's see, I was in the hospital when my parents first told me about Yamaku Academy. The doctors told me I shouldn't go to my old school anymore. My parents agreed and persuaded me to apply for Yamaku, even though it would mean living away from them for the first time. It must have been hard for you. Yeah, I have to admit that it was. My parents both work long hours and full time, so having to live reasonably independent wasn't anything new to me. It was the fact that I was going to a school for disabled students that hit hardest, I think. And you? A small group of chattering girls pass us as we are near the stairs, with Hanako pressing herself tightly to my side until we reach the ground floor. She doesn't usually come this close while just walking in the school, so I'm left a little put off. The staff of the orphanage offered me some options on what I could do. Middle school hadn't been good, so I thought that Yamaku might have been better. I was isolated, and I thought it might be easier to get by here with most of the others being disabled. It was pretty ironic that the reason Hanako looked forward to Yamaku were the exact reasons I hated the idea. To me, it felt like I was being shunted somewhere away from society and everyone I knew. To Hanako, that was probably an inviting prospect. What was life like at the orphanage? It was okay. The staff there were nice and they took care of us. The children there didn't talk to me much, but I didn't really want to talk with them either, so I didn't mind. The orphanage had a little library, so I started to read to pass the time. The staff didn't mind it because it made me easier to handle than many of the other children. You didn't make any friends there? No, I think my life was on hold during that time. I knew that, but I didn't mind. To her, life was on hold for all that time, though. Depending on when the fire happened, that was a huge chunk of her life. No parents, no friends, apparently no relatives. We walked through the door into the courtyard. I expect to need to avert my eyes from the sun, but by now it's well into sunset. Hanako's eyes keep flicking to me, so I look away from her for a bit. What was it like in the hospital? Ralph! I quickly clear my thoughts and I try to refocus them. I'm sorry. Very inappropriate time. I hesitate for a bit, but I know that I have to tell her. We're close enough for her to feel comfortable telling me this, so it's only fair that I reciprocate. It was okay at times, but at others it was pretty bad. At the beginning, everyone sent their sympathies and came to visit often. It was just like breaking an arm or something. Meeting all my friends was one of the good times. Iwanako came in often as well, more often than anyone else. But there were bad times too. When my friends slowly stopped visiting and I began to realize how grave my situation was, it reminded me that it wasn't just a broken limb, but that I was now a different person than before. Even the times Iwanako would spend with me became torturous. By the end, we were reduced to silence, whereas before, she'd be talking constantly. That's how Iwanako always was. She may have been a fragile person, but she would talk constantly to try to hide the fact. Not about anything in particular, just talk. I think the three lowest points would have been when my parents told me I wouldn't be going to my old school anymore, my birthday passing while in the hospital, and when Iwanako left for the last time. We leave the school buildings behind us as we begin to follow the main path through the gardens. There may have been the odd bystander in the school buildings, but outside we're practically alone. What was your middle school like? I liked it. I grew up in a real metropolitan area, so the middle school was nearby, so it was pretty crowded. I didn't mind it, probably because I'm used to being in crowds and around lots of other people. I got good grades, played soccer with friends, spent a fair bit of time hanging out with them after school as well. Did get teased a bit over my hair though. Your hair? I grimaced a little as I put my hand over my hair to cover it. I keep getting tufts and strands that refused to flatten or stay where I wanted them, and my mother wouldn't let me just get my hair shaved. It had a bit of a habit of popping out no matter how much I tried to brush it down. It still does a little. I was worried I'd get that reply. Sorry, I didn't mean to. I gave a mild laugh and waved it off. It's fine. I know it still does. It feels strange to have someone act so interested in my past. If it were anyone else, I'd think they were just acting polite, but that's something I really don't think Hanako would do. Or if she did, she'd do it so badly that it would be obvious. There were a number of girls in the common room on the ground floor, and Hanako presses herself to my side once more as we passed them. I expected her to break off, but instead she continues to cling on to me as we walk towards the stairway. Something about the way she's holding on to me feels different from usual.
Sexier.
Stop! I'm left deep in thought as we walk up the stairs and down the hallway. It's only when we stop that I look up and realize I've been following her without question. Why did we come to your dormitory room? Oh my god, we're not. I refuse to believe Hanako would engage in such gross activities.
No, she doesn't do anything wrong.
Yeah?
She
Alright.
doesn't even, this isn't what she's here for.
I hope not.
Is this what you're here for?
No, I'm here
Ramsey,
to
are
learn
you-
more. I'm here to learn more about Hanako.
Ramsey, you should really think about why you're here. In her dorm room. And why she brought you here. Because you gotta make sure those are for the same reasons.
Let's just keep going. She looks straight at the door without so much as a glance in my direction. Hanako? God damn it. It's so obvious. She moves to answer, but stops herself. Instead,
The
she
thing is,
sounds...
that was a brick.
Stop. Instead, she silently breaks from my side, opens her door, and steps inside. I look up and down the hallway, a bit lost as to exactly what I should do. Shrugging, I decide to follow her. Whatever. I decide to follow her, since I don't have any reason to do otherwise. Hanako stands in the middle of the room and looks straight at me. God damn it! It's unnerving when she does this, as it's such an unusual action for her. I open my mouth to speak, but she preempts me. Could you? Ah, no!
Okay, wait, hold on. I'd just like to add that this isn't the worst that our hero Ramsey gets. He's way more oblivious, in other words.
It's so
Somehow.
obvious. Please stop being stupid, Ramsey. Just get it.
Just
you
get it.
Just because you close and lock the door. Anako's hands reaches for her chest, grabbing her blouse by the heart. I turn and lock the door shut.
Grab her
then
by the
freeze.
blouse.
The atmosphere is beginning to feel quite strange. This feeling
Sure.
is only made more profound when I hear the curtains being pulled behind me. It's going to be night soon. We're a guy and a girl in a bedroom. She's closing the curtains and I'm locking the door. She can't really have that in mind, can she? I gulp and turn around very, very slowly. Hanako is in the center of the room, but hasn't turned it back to face me. You told me about your past, so I have to tell you about mine.
That's the law.
She takes a deep, shuddering breath and pauses for a number of seconds. All right, no words. This has got to be a special moment. Her hands move to her ribbon and begin to tug, all but confirming my thoughts. Hanako.
Time for sex.
Please shut up! It's gotta be special. Please.
Don't say anything.
Stop! Please, don't say anything. I obediently stay hushed as she slips off her ribbon and continues to unbutton her blouse before working the clip on her bra.
Fuck! The process is slow. Perhaps it just feels slow because of what she's doing. I'm not sure. Frozen to the spot, all I can do is watch Hanako, hands trembling, unclips her skirt and lets it drop to the ground. Oh god! Oh my, what the fuck is she wearing? What is that on her butt?
Tights? Or stockings or whatever?
Oh, that's... Oh, okay. I thought they
Yeah.
were like some sort of weird, like, see-through sexy lingerie or some shit.
She's ready. She's been ready all day.
Finally, she takes her... What is this bullshit hair sensor bar? Fuck off.
What?
She takes her blouse. Yeah, like her hair is blocking the nipple. Come on, this is bullshit.
Oh, okay.
Finally, she takes her blouse in her hands and draws it off. Her ball...
Oh no.
Her bra falling from her shoulders. And so, Hanako stands in the middle of the room, all but bared, save for her stockings and underwear. This is me. All of me.
I like the zoom.
Yeah, nice zoom in. My eyes are immediately drawn to the scarring on her back. The skin on her right side is of similar texture to that of her face, but it's also stretched, taut, and covering a much larger area. The scarring is by far the worst under the shoulder, buttocks, and thigh. Just as my heart attack redefined my life, this is the event that redefined Hanako's. I like how her eye just pierces through that veil of fucking hair, right?
Yeah, that's been happening all game.
I mean, it's triggering me, that's all. If I'd seen this when we first met, I'd have been shocked. Not only by the sight, but also the idea that something like this were survivable. After having time to get used to the idea, and after seeing the scars on her face, hands, and collar, my reaction is more measured. Reaction right now is not due to her scarring, but to her body. The fire happened when I was 8 years old. It was night, and we were sleeping when it started. Hanako's voice trembles, and the shaking of her blouse is giving away the fact that her hands are doing just the same. I curled up into a ball when the fire swept over me. My mother tried to shield me. That's the only reason I lived. Hanako's eyes begin to moisten, her voice cracking under the combined pressure of exposing yourself to me like this, and reliving those painful memories from so long ago. I want to say something, anything to make her feel better. I can't though. I feel completely useless in a situation like this. She's forcing herself to come so close, yet it's at times like this that I feel most distant to her. I'm sorry for making you see this. There's no point in denying the obvious. I think what I should say now, and what Hanako wants me to say now, is the truth. What I genuinely, honestly believe. It doesn't matter. You're a wonderful person, Hanako. Your body doesn't change that. She looks at me a long time, as she tries to remain steady amidst the emotions we're both feeling. It feels less like she's looking at me than she's looking through me. I slowly walk towards her and gently place my hands on her shoulders as she lets go of her blouse. She gasps a little, but not in fright, but in simple startlement. Being so close to her causes my mind to become a jumble of feelings. The scarring on her shoulder, plain to see and leather-like to the touch, conflicts strangely with her otherwise soft skin and silky dark hair. Hanako is a girl, with all that entails. She's taller than usual for a woman, and she has curves in all the right places. The nape of her neck, just visible thanks to her hair slung over her shoulder, is alluring. I know that I'm not pretty like Lily. I just wanted you to see me, the real me. I've already seen the real you, though. You didn't need to take off your clothes for that. Whoa!
You
Okay.
asked for it.
Alright. Sonic sensor by right now. Go, boy. Her lips are open just a little. She lets out a sharp breath as, without thinking, and breathlessly leans forward and puts my lips to hers. The kiss only lasts for a few fleeting moments before our faces part. Our breaths quick and nervous. The feeling of Hanako's mouth lingers, but her eyes remain locked to mine. God damn. Trembling a little myself, I removed my tie and began undoing the buttons of my shirt. Hanako remains standing where she is, looking at the ground in front of me rather than watching me undress. On the one hand, I'm thankful for that. It's always been somewhat self-conscious of my body, but my scarring has made that quite a lot worse. On the other, though, this atmosphere feels real strange. Real strange. My shirt falls to the ground in a heap, as untidy and crumpled as Hanako's blouse and skirt. Hanako's entire body visibly flinches at the sound of the zipper on my trousers being pulled down. My trousers join my shirt on Hanako's floor, next to the bed, as do my socks in short measure. I hesitate, before taking off my boxers, and end up leaving them on. Okay. They represent one last hurdle I don't think I can overcome quite yet. Sheer embarrassment stops me, along with not wanting Hanako to get even more worked up. My unease about the situation has also left me needing my own stimulation. God damn it. Hanako. God damn! She gives a nod without so much as glancing at me and makes her way to the bed as I do. She walks as if her legs were wooden sticks. I'd find it amusing if I were doing the exact same thing. I take the initiative, turning around and sitting on the side of the bed. I look up to her face to invite her to take a seat either next to me or in front of me. I turn up awkwardly, looking down to stop myself from staring at her body. Whoa! Boobs! Never. God damn it, this is so awkward.
Yep.
I hate this. Ah! What happened? The text is gone. Where'd it go? Where's the
You hit,
text? Sonic, help!
Shoot, what's the button?
Oh, H. Okay, cool.
Oh, right. Yeah, right click and
Nevertheless,
show image.
nevertheless, she takes her cue and reluctantly sits between my legs. God damn it. I really. Alright, you've played. One of you has played Honey Pop. Or Honey Pop.
Yeah. So did I.
Yeah, I really want like a mini game for the 6th season.
Yeah, let's boot it up right now.
Right now,
Side
yeah.
game.
Thanks everyone for joining us. Kind of shows you you're never gonna know what happens. Okay, bye. Oh yeah. Nevertheless, she takes her cue and reluctantly sits between my legs. As she does so, the rush of sensations hit me all at once. The feeling of her behind against my I thought that said cock just straight up. I was like, oh my god. Alright, hold on. Gotta get sensual. Gotta take a drink of whiskey before I do this. The feeling of her behind against my crotch is the most obvious, but her scent is just as strong. She's worked up a slight sweat already from her nervousness, and the smell and feeling of her hair is washed across my face. I try to put on a smile to try and make the situation comfortable for her, but it feels real stilted. I decide to try and move things along. One hand finds itself on her breast, as the other rests on her legs. Her lips press tightly as she tries, unsuccessfully, to suppress a squeal at the action. Sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. Hanako takes a breath and shakes her head as her only reply. A gulp comes from deep in my throat before beginning to move my hand down and massaging her breast and nipple. It feels really nice, giving way underneath my palm with just a little firmness. For a while, I don't think it's helping her get in the mood at all, but slowly her eyelids begin to lower. Her breath slows to a more rhythmic pattern, and her body begins to relax into mine. It's newly satisfying to be able to make Hanako feel like this. Definitely better than the feeling of her body alone. I can sense a little hard bump brushing against my fingers, but I'm there before too. I slowly move my hand downwards. God damn it. Trying not to surprise her too much. God damn it. Oh fuck,
Hanako.
She gives
Ramsey's
no
a sex
protest.
wizard.
Stop. Michelle, stop looking at me. Alright, fuck it. Michelle's trying to act all sexy while she's chewing on the fucking whatever the hem of her shirt. Bitch. She gives no protest, and my fingers soon begin to move up and down the smooth, soft groove between her legs. Her body is pressed
You've
against
got
mine by
mail.
now, and the thin sheen of sweat on both of us. She feels warm, and all this has more than served to arouse me as well as her. Hanako gives a small gasp, my fingers pressing a little harder, moving a little faster almost instinctively. The girl in front of me, the girl pressing against me. I want her. All of her. I stop moving my fingers, making Hanako give a long breath of relief from the feelings welling up inside of her. Her face looks to mine a little, silent but expectant. All I do is nod. I don't know which one of us is more apprehensive right now. I push myself back onto the bed, extricating myself from Hanako with a certain amount of reluctance. For her part, she slides back and lies down with her hands on her pillow, breathing heavily all the while. Whoa! Whoa! Lude! Oh, God. Damn it. Well, at least she's taken the initiative and already shaved. Thanks, Japan.
No, she doesn't. Yeah.
What?
Ah, fine.
Oh, is
yeah,
it?
I forgot it does.
Oh, okay.
I think there's a bit more. There's quite a bit more.
Yeah, there's quite. Alright, okay.
We're reading it either way, so.
Hanako lying in front of me, her panties darkened, her chest heaving, her face flushed, and her eyes looking into mine. Her scars just make her look all the more unique. I'm left without words, and that she'd allow me to see her like this. I bring myself closer to her, closing my hands on her waist. I wait for her to nod before taking a delicate hold of her stockings, taking them up a bit as the past is real. I tear my heart open just to feel. Taking them up a bit I can manage. I don't think I can get them off without tearing them, so I end up leaving them on her legs and moving her panties aside. Hanako lies practically naked on the bed. Her most delicate parts and the scarring of her body are now plain to see. Bringing my fingers to her crotch, I stroke a little more, causing her breath to catch. She should be okay if she's this aroused, so I open my boxers and move myself up a little on the bed. Hanako's entire body has tenses as I bring myself closer to her, eyes widening. She's scared. I take a long breath before realizing something I should have thought of before. Close my eyes and concentrate deeply. My heart thumps away as I focus my mind on its beating. It's faster than usual, of course, but the beat is regular. I think I can keep it in check if I take this slowly. Are you okay? Why is there only sweat on her left breast and not her right breast? Unimmersive?
No, it's on there. It's on there.
Yeah.
It's just hard to see.
Yeah, I guess it's the art style. Are you okay?
Yeah, perfect.
I open my eyes and look at her. I guess that must have looked pretty worrying to someone else watching me. I'm okay. I was just making sure that I was. She hesitates a little before nodding. She looks a little less afraid than before, so maybe showing her that I was also worried helped reassure her. I lean over and press my lips to hers, our tongues tentatively touching. I can feel her body becoming less tense on her mind, so it's getting both of us back into the great mood. Then I remember something and pull back. I hate this. It's like the first time a teenager has sex.
Well,
Lean over the side of the yeah,
should
it's
have
just
one
like
glass
that.
of wine too.
Oh yeah, then he would have went right for it, ripped the panties right open.
Yeah.
Stop that. I lean over the side of the bed to where my trousers are, my hand reaching up for the back pocket. I feel around blind for a few seconds until a little foil square brushes just underneath my finger. Why the fuck does he have a condom?
Yeah, I was gonna say, just for the record, he had this planned out the whole time. He was ready.
fast.
think he's innocent, but he's like, no, I was ready for this the whole time. This has been in there every day since the start of school.
Sneaky. I quickly pull it out and right myself on the bed, sitting back from Hanako a little and fiddling with the packet. It takes a little while for everything to go on correctly, but eventually the rubber sleeve covers what it should, fitting snugly. My slight confusion at my first time trying to work a condom seems to have amused her a little, and as I position myself over her, we share a small nervous laugh. Now, though, I need to try and concentrate. And then we high five, and that's it. I look down and try to get my knee and waist in what I think is the right places, and I take my penis in my slightly shaking hand. Hanako's face is looking at mine, but her eyes are pointed down to where our crotches meet. With a short breath, I position myself and push my hips forward. Ah! Oh God!
Thanks.
Stop looking at me! Leave! In one stroke, I push-
Sonic, can you
put that on
actually
your
no, whatever.
soundboard. Put that
Yeah,
on
I was
your
gonna say, I was gonna pull that out.
Yeah.
Use it as my ringtone.
In one sh- in one sh-
Mhm.
in one stroke. In one stroke, I pushed myself fully inside of her. The rush of sensations and emotion. I'm everybody's ringtone. I just realized that. In one way or another, I'm on your phone.
Yeah.
I push myself fully inside of her. The rush of sensations and emotions fills my head, and Hanako yelps in pain. Looking at her makes me feel uneasy. I mistakenly pushed too hard and too fast and caused her more pain than necessary. Neither of us really knows what we're doing, and the last thing I wanted was to hurt her. Hanako opens her eyes again and looks towards me. She must have seen how troubled I looked, and she tries her best to put on a happy face. It's not very convincing at all. I look down and begin slowly, damn it, to move my hips again after giving a few minutes to recover. The movement feels really unnatural, and I can feel her muscles moving all over my lower body that I haven't felt moving in this way before. I know I'm putting stress on my heart. Stop it. I know I'm putting stress on my heart, and I probably shouldn't as well. And with every movement, I keep track of my heart's beat. The feeling inside of Hanako is warm and soft, and it's not from the con. And it's not if and if and if not for the condom deadening a little of the sensation, I doubt I'd be able to last very long at all. Her soft gasps and constant movements don't help. Does he still have his boxers on? He does. What a
Yeah, he
trooper.
said that. He didn't want to take them off because it would be weird.
Yeah. Her soft gasp and constant movements don't help at all either. This part, the look of pain doesn't really seem to be dissipating as I hope. Her scar tissue causes one side of her body to move a little differently from the other, and strands of her hair are now sticking to her face. God damn it. I put my hands around her body and lift it up a little. After some squirming for the both of us, we try positioning ourselves a bit differently to minimize her pain. With my hands now holding her legs, both of us are moving in less and less measured movements by now. The smell of Hanako fills my senses, and from this position, I'm not stressing my body quite as much. My sense of time seems distorted, and I feel like I'm starting to get faint from hyperventilating. I want Hanako to feel good though, and I can't stop now that we've reached this point. A new wave of pleasure suddenly begins to wash over me. Please. My feelings are beginning to well up, and I don't think I can control them any longer. I speed up, concentrating less and less on pacing myself. Every time it feels like we've found a rhythm, we've lost it in our movements. From the sound she's making, I don't think these positions help Hanako feel much better, and I don't think I'm going to be able to hold on much longer either. I turn and lay her back down on the bed, both of us well beyond the point of doing anything but reaching the end. One thrust after another, I begin to feel the point coming, frantically tensing myself to try and stave it off for as long as I can. Hanako! Ah! Hanako gives a small shriek as my mind blanks. My waist hits hers with a fair amount of force as I hit the point of my climax, and I can feel myself twitching inside of her. Her body twists and turns under mine, only heightening the feelings of euphoria. And then, after a couple of seconds, after
Was
a
that
couple
you?
of seconds, it ends.
Is that Ramsey?
Yeah,
His
Yeah.
victory screech?
yeah, that's what I did when I come. And then, after a couple seconds, it ends. The sound of Hanako's breathing and my own ringing in my ears, almost painfully loud. Hanako holds an arm over her face, her mouth open and gulping in air. As I hold myself over her, suddenly my arms almost give way and my vision distorts, as if someone grabbed it and pulled it sideways. I let myself fall sideways onto the bed beside the panting Hanako, for fear of falling onto her instead. Against one another in order to fit on a bed made for a single person. My eyes try to focus on the ceiling, to not much success. The blanket over us to stave off the cold is all I can do. The only sound of the room is that of our breathing. The sweat that had accumulated on our body now feels. The sweat that had accumulated on my body feels uncomfortable. We're both physically and emotionally exhausted and a complete mess. God damn it. Oh god. My vision slowly begins to return to normal as I continue to stare at the ceiling, but my limbs still feel like jelly. I try to concentrate on my chest
Bad
and
end.
find its beat irregular and mildly painful. Ramsey dies after having sex with Hanako.
Yeah. First he's gotta get to the roof.
Yeah, this is a dangerous time. I have to think this through and not panic, lest I make the situation any worse. With a huge effort, I take control of my erratic breathing, forcing myself to make long, deep breaths. I count half a dozen before I start to feel physically calm again, and I press my hand to my chest to reassure myself. My heart beats back to normal. I'm okay. Aww! Aww! You're
This is
so
a pretty good shot.
cute. This is a nice shot, yeah. The art style in this game is phenomenal.
Oh yeah. It's a bunch of different artists.
Yeah. I turn my face towards Hanako, who's already looking at me. Her expression looks pretty dazed, but underneath that, there's definitely a look of concern. She's realized what happened. I'm okay. Everything's back to normal. I find myself barely able to get the words out between breaths. I don't think sex would tire out a normal body out this much, so I have no doubt my condition's at least partially my fault. Why did my body have to do this right now? All thoughts of my heart, though, are pushed aside as I see the wide smile forming on Hanako's face. As always, I smile back without another thought. Hanako's smile has always been infectious in its almost childlike sweetness and earnesty, something that sets her apart from anyone else I know. Right now, we don't need words. Everything we want to communicate to each other, we can just share just fine without them. Did I fall asleep in her room? Oh god. Kadoba Shoujo.
Yeah, just so you know, during like half that scene, I was looking up the incredible Burt Wonderstone,